For centuries, doctors believed that the spleen was little more than an optional organ, a strange, dark red structure hidden beneath the ribs, rarely mentioned and often ignored. In many cases, surgeons removed it without hesitation, convinced that the body could function perfectly well without it. And technically, they were right. People can survive without a spleen, but modern science has uncovered something remarkable. Right now, hidden deep inside your abdomen, an invisible biological machine is continuously filtering your blood, removing defective cells, identifying microscopic invaders, recycling precious materials, and coordinating part of your immune defenses without you ever noticing. Every second of your life, this silent organ is making thousands of decisions that help keep you alive, and most people know almost nothing about it. This is the story of the spleen, one of the most mysterious, underestimated, and fascinating organs in the human body. Located on the upper left side of the abdomen, just behind the stomach and protected by the lower ribs, the spleen is relatively small. In adults, it is roughly the size of a clenched fist and weighs only a few hundred grams. Its appearance gives no clue to the extraordinary work taking place inside. Unlike the heart, which announces its presence with every beat, or the lungs, which constantly move with every breath, the spleen works in complete silence. Yet blood is continuously flowing through it. Almost 5% of the body's blood volume is passing through the spleen at any given moment, and unlike most organs, the spleen is not simply using blood to nourish itself. It is inspecting it, evaluating it, filtering it. In many ways, the spleen functions like an advanced biological quality control center. To understand how it performs this task, we need to enter its microscopic architecture. Inside the spleen are two major regions known as the red pulp and the white pulp. Together, these tissues create one of the most sophisticated surveillance systems in the body. The red pulp is responsible for filtering the blood itself. Every day, billions of red blood cells travel through the circulation, carrying oxygen to every organ and tissue. These cells are remarkably efficient, but they do not last forever. After approximately 120 days, they begin to age. Their membranes become less flexible. Their ability to squeeze through tiny blood vessels gradually decreases, and this is where the spleen takes over. Inside the red pulp lies an intricate network of narrow channels and microscopic spaces. Healthy red blood cells can deform and pass through with ease. Old or damaged cells cannot. They become trapped, waiting for specialized cells called macrophages. These remarkable cells engulf the aging blood cells and break them apart. This process occurs continuously. Millions of red blood cells are removed every hour, but destruction is only half the story. Nothing useful is wasted. Inside every red blood cell lies hemoglobin, and inside hemoglobin is iron, one of the body's most valuable elements. Macrophages carefully recover this iron and send it back into circulation. From there, it returns to the bone marrow, where it can be used to manufacture new red blood cells. It is a highly efficient recycling system, one that conserves essential resources while maintaining the quality of the blood. Without this constant maintenance, defective cells would accumulate, and oxygen delivery throughout the body would become progressively less efficient. But blood filtration is only one of the spleen's responsibilities. The organ is also a major component of the immune system. Its white pulp contains large populations of lymphocytes and other immune cells that act as a sophisticated defense network. As blood flows through these regions, immune cells inspect it for signs of danger. Bacteria, viruses, parasites, foreign particles, and even molecular fragments that reveal the presence of infection. Unlike lymph nodes, which mainly monitor fluids coming from tissues, the spleen specializes in monitoring the blood itself. This makes it uniquely important. Many dangerous microorganisms travel through the bloodstream, and the spleen acts as a checkpoint. A biological customs station capable of recognizing threats that are invisible to us. When danger is detected, an extraordinary chain reaction begins. B lymphocytes start producing antibodies. T cells coordinate immune responses. Chemical messengers summon additional defenders. Within hours, a highly organized attack can be launched against invading pathogens, all inside an organ most people never think about. Its importance becomes dramatically clear when it is absent. Although humans can survive without a spleen, life without it is not exactly the same. Individuals who undergo splenectomy, the surgical removal of the spleen, have a greater risk of developing severe infections. Particularly infections caused by encapsulated bacteria, microorganisms surrounded by protective coatings that are especially difficult for the immune system to eliminate. Without the spleen's filtering and immune functions, these bacteria can spread rapidly through the blood. For this reason, patients without a spleen often require specific vaccinations and additional medical precautions. Modern medicine has learned an important lesson. Whenever possible, preserving the spleen is preferable, because what was once considered expendable has proven to be extraordinarily valuable. But the spleen possesses another remarkable ability. It serves as a reserve. Hidden within its tissues are stores of platelets and blood cells that can be released when the body faces emergencies. During severe blood loss or intense physiological stress, these reserves may help maintain circulation and support clot formation. In some animal species, this function reaches astonishing levels. Seals, horses, and diving mammals can release massive quantities of stored red blood cells, temporarily increasing oxygen transport when needed. Humans possess a less dramatic version of this capability, but the principle remains the same. The spleen is not merely a filter. It is also a strategic reserve, and recent discoveries suggest that its role may extend even further. Scientists have found evidence that the spleen may act as a reservoir for monocytes, important immune cells involved in tissue repair. When injuries occur, these cells can leave the spleen and travel to damaged areas. Following a heart attack, for example, monocytes originating from the spleen may contribute to the healing process. Researchers are still investigating these mechanisms, but the findings reveal an organ far more dynamic than previously imagined. The spleen is not simply cleaning blood. It may also participate in rebuilding the body itself, and perhaps this should not surprise us. Evolution rarely preserves useless structures. The spleen has accompanied vertebrate animals for hundreds of millions of years. Throughout that immense span of time, its functions have been refined and preserved because maintaining the integrity of the blood means protecting life itself. Blood is far more than a red liquid. It is a living highway carrying oxygen, nutrients, hormones, immune cells, and chemical messages throughout the body. And hidden beside the stomach lies an organ devoted entirely to supervising that highway, inspecting every passing cell, removing the defective, recycling the valuable, detecting microscopic enemies, preparing immune defenses, maintaining emergency reserves, and perhaps even helping damaged tissues heal, all without producing a sensation, without demanding attention, without announcing its existence. For generations, the spleen was dismissed as a secondary organ, a biological curiosity, something useful perhaps, but not essential. Modern science tells a very different story, because inside your body at this very moment, a silent machine is examining your blood with extraordinary precision. A guardian working continuously cell by cell, hour after hour. And perhaps one of the greatest reminders that some of the most important systems sustaining human life are the ones we rarely notice, hidden in the shadows, quietly protecting us every second we live.